ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः काङ्क्षन्तः कर्मणां सिद्धिं यजन्त इह देवताः क्षिप्रं हि मानुषे लोके सिद्धिर्भवति कर्मजा। यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृताम्.
We will now commence the discourse by Swamiji on the Nectar of Gita. Swamiji will speak for about an hour, and thereafter we'll have a question-answer session. We will circulate a pen and paper to all of you, and you can put it down so that the questions are also recorded when Swamiji calls out the question before he answers them. So keep your questions ready, and over to Swamiji now.
Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om. Let us have a very short speech, and then we can go for question answers. Because one-way speech won't benefit much. But however, a topic is decided here, so we have to go to it. After that, you can ask whatever you want to ask. If I know, I will reply. There is no any restriction regarding the subject. The Nectar of Bhagavad Gita. In the beginning of the Bhashya, Bhagavan Bhashyakara, Shankaracharya writes, Idam Gita Shastram Samasta Vedartha Sara Sangraha Bhutam. Idam Gita Shastram, this Gita Shastram is Samasta Vedartha Sara Sangraha Bhutam. The meaning of Sara is essence. And again, Sangraha, what is the meaning of Sangraha? That also is essence. So this is the quintessence of all meanings or all subjects which are coming under Veda. Veda is knowledge. Knowledge of the macrocosm, knowledge of the microcosm, knowledge of the Ishvara who is controlling everything, and above all, the knowledge of the self. Who am I? What is my real nature? All these put together, that constitute the Veda. And the ways and means to reach that realization, that also is there in the Veda. So Veda is everything. The whole edifice of Sanatana Dharma is built on the foundation of Veda. As said by Bhagavan Manu, Vedo Ghilo Dharma Moolam. It is the very root or very base of Dharma. And the essence of Veda is Bhagavad Gita. Then comes the question, what is Dharma? When you say Veda is the base or root of Dharma, what is Dharma? Dharma is that which is uniting or which is holding everything together. From the smallest atom to the whole manifestations we can call prapancha. In the Lalita Sahasranama or in the Shiva Sahasranama we can see such words as Aneka Kodi Brahmanda Janani or Ananta Kodi Brahmanda Janani, Aneka Kodi Brahmanda Nayakaha. There are crores and crores of Brahmandas. Within one Brahmanda, how many galaxies are there? We cannot say. Within one galaxy, how many stars are there? We cannot say. Innumerable are they. Innumerable. So from the microcosmic particle to the grossest prapancha, everything is bound together, everything is held together. By whom? That binding force or that binding scheme or that binding order is called Dharma. Dharyate anena sarvam iti dharma, by which everything is held together. So it is Dharma which is holding everything together. We have to understand what it is and live or adjust our life accordingly. Then our life will become dharmic life. We have to adjust our own life in such a way as it is in consonance with the universal or the cosmic order. Then our life is dharmic life. Dharmic life is not going to temple or going to mosque or going to masjid, this, that. No. All those are practices. Dharmic life is adjusting our own life in consonance with the universal order, the cosmic order. It is well said by Bhagavan Vedavyasa in the Mahabharata as Shruyatam Sarva Dharmasu Shrutvaidad Avadharyada Atmana Pratikulani Pareshamna Samachareta. You hear the essence of Dharma. Shruyadam Dharma Sarvasya. Simple hearing won't do. It won't help. After hearing, you have to keep it in mind, keep within, and act accordingly. Shrutvaidad avadharyada. What is that? Atmana pratikulani pareshamna samachare. Don't do to others what is not acceptable to you. What is not acceptable to you, we must not do to others. This is the crux of Veda, Dharma. So that life, with that adjustment, with that thought, let my thoughts or let my words or let my deeds don't hurt the social system or the cosmic system. Let them not disrupt or distract the cosmic order. With that thought, we have to adjust our life. For such an adjustment, we must know how this cosmic system is working. Both the micro level and the macro level. And the connection in between two. This knowledge must be there. Otherwise, how we will adjust our life? For adjusting our life in such a way as to suit the preservance of the system or social order, we must know how it is working. Without knowledge, we cannot do that. So from where this knowledge will come? This is the question. I am remembering one instance. Years back. Then I was a small child, studying in the second standard. Then heard one man in that village, it was a small village, he purchased a tape recorder. There was no tape recorder in that village. So that news spread like anything. Everybody in that village assembled in that home to see and to hear. Then it was there, exhibited on a table, a set, big one, not a small, big one. And somehow I could read, it is Panasonic. And we were waiting eagerly to hear the voice of Yeshudas. Then instead of putting that on, this man started giving a lecture. He started delivering a lecture. Now I will put it on. When it is on, immediately the sound of Yeshudas will come. All these things. We children were eagerly waiting. Let this man stop his lecture and put it on. But after a long lecture, he put the switch on and immediately there was a fire and sound. Boom! Everything finished. No Yeshudas, no music, nothing. Oh, we were that much sad. This happened. This is not a story. We were that much sad. What happened? Nobody knew. We asked him, what happened? He was crying. I don't know. See, in those days, this man was working in Persia, in the Middle East. In those days, we were calling, whether it is in Dubai or Bahrain or Saudi Arabia, everywhere, it is Persia. He went to Persia. So he bought this and brought from Persia. It was packed well in a big box. He brought this. And outside the box there was, in big letters, it was written, read the manual before operating. And within that pack, there was paper pack, and there also it was written, read carefully the manual before operating. Now there is no such problem, but in those days there was that problem, because our electric line, it is 240 volts, and there it is 110. Even now it is that, but nowadays this system, all the gadgets, they will adjust by themselves. But in those days it was not that. There was a selector switch in that set. When you work it there, you must put it into 110, and when you work here, you must put it to 240. But this factor, he didn't pay attention. So it was, the selector switch was in the 110 volt. And he put on the 240 and burnt. That happened. The same is the case with our life. So we must know the manual of life. Why I am living here. How to live here. What is the goal and how I can reach that. How to adjust with the cosmic life. Everything. From where we will get this? From those who realized that. The words of those realized acharyas, rishis, that we can get from the Vedas. But there is a problem. Anantaha vai Vedaha. There is no limit. Veda is limitless. Where to begin? Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka and Upanishad. And within each and every Veda, there are different shakhas. In total, there were 1180 shakhas. And as per the sayings of Bhagavan Patanjali, there were 1130 shakhas. According to Muktiga Upanishad, there were 1180 shakhas. In the Mahabhashya, it is said 1130 shakhas. So, that much shakhas are there. Where I will start? Which part I will learn? In this human life. That too, in this busy schedule. Many may be aware of this when sunset is nearing. So, how I will go into that? How I will get that manual within? This question is there. The answer is, Bhagavan has given the quintessence in a short treatise, consisting only of 700 shlokas. That is Bhagavad Gita. So, this is the essence of Veda. Samasta Vedartha Sara Sangraha Bhuta. After a rigorous churning, we got this. And this is the Amrita of Veda. Nectar of Veda. Nectar that we are getting out of the churning process. See, Shruti Bhagavati, she herself gives the essence of Shruti in the last part of Veda, that is Vedanta. Vedanta is the last part or the last message of Veda, and we can get that Vedanta through the study of proper study or systematic or traditional study of Upanishads. Vedanta is not some text, some book. No. Vedanta is not some book. But we can realize that Vedanta through studying some books. Those books are Upanishads. Through a proper and traditional study of Upanishads, we can have Vedanta. And that Vedanta again is summarized The essence has been taken. By whom? By none other than Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Dugdham Gitamrutam Mahat. Just see a beautiful picture we can see in the Gita Dhyana. Sarvopanishado Gavaha Dogdha Gopalanandana Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gita Amrutam Mahat. Gita Amrutam, the nectar of Gita. So Sarvopanishado Gavaha. When we say Upanishad is a cow, such a question won't come how many cows are there. But here it is in the plural. Sarvopanishadaha, all Upanishads are cows. Then question comes, how many cows are there? The answer is that much number of Upanishads. How many? For each and every Shakha, there was one Upanishad, or there is one Upanishad. So how many Shakhas are there? As told earlier, 1180. So 1180 cows, they are ready to give milk. Just imagine. So to milk this much number of cows, how many milkmen are required? At least 500 or 300 men have to be there. But here there is only one man. Dogdha Gopala Nandanaha. Dogdha Duh Prapurane. From that dhatu comes the word Duh Dogdha. One who is filling the vessel. He is Dogdha. The word meaning of Dogdha is one who is filling the vessel. With what? With milk. That is milking. He is drawing that milk. Only one person. Can one man collect milk from 1180 cows? It is not possible. It is impossible. But here he is Gopala Nandanaha. Gopalasya Nandanaha, the son of Gopala. They are experts in milking, in carrying cows. No? When we go to Uttara Bharat, even now we can meet many Gopalas. In Gujarat there are many Gopalas. Oh, they have that much expertise in all subjects connected with goes. We cannot imagine. Personally I have seen a small kid of say 1.5 or 2 years of age. Personally I have seen this in 1988. A small kid of 1.5 year age standing under a cow and drinking milk directly. And this cow was giving that milk with all happiness, blissfully. So then on that day I understood the meaning of this shloka. If a child of 1.5 year age can milk one cow, when he gets older, of course he can draw milk from 1180 cows. There is no doubt in that. So there is nothing wrong in this shloka. Till then I was wondering how it is possible. But then another question came. No, this is not an ordinary cow. This is Upanishad cow. Then how it is possible? Then the reply is, it is Gopalanandana. Earlier we understood Gopalanandana as to mean Gopalasya Nandana. Now we have to view from another angle. Gopalascha asau nandanascha iti Gopalanandana. Gopalaha, one who is protecting the go. What is go? Go is sense. Gau is Veda. Go is knowledge. Go is earth. Go is ray of the sun. Go is cow. So one who is protecting the whole earth, one who is protecting the Veda, one who is protecting knowledge, one who is protecting all senses, and finally one who is protecting cow, he is Gopalaha. And Nandanaha, who is a Nandana? Earlier we saw the meaning as son of Gopala. Now we have to say Nandana is one who is giving you bliss. Nandayati di Nandana. Who is giving real bliss? When we get some object from somebody, we will have happiness, of course. I am happy now. You gave me this sweet or this thing, that thing, so I am happy now. But within some minutes or some moments, that happiness will go. When we get somebody or something, when we see some beautiful sights, we are happy with it, of course. But after a few minutes, it has gone. So it is not Nandayati, Nandanaha. But who is giving you bliss, he is Nandana. Then again the same question comes, who is Nandana? A real Guru who is giving you the knowledge to cross the ignorance and thereby realize our full nature, Purnaha. Who is taking you to that position where no more requirements are there. Name parthasti kartavyam, that we have seen. To that fulfillment, who is taking us? He is Nandana. So Gopalascha asau Nandanascha idi Gopala Nandana. He can draw milk from these 1180 Upanishad cows. And what is the milk? That is Dugdham Gita Amrutam. That milk is the nectar of Bhagavad Gita. So we have to have Gopala with us. Then only we will get this. Have him within, and we will get this nectar, there is no doubt. There is another point in this shloka. I am not going to comment on this shloka, but as we have seen this shloka, we have to understand one point. That is, when we go for some Gita classes, some may be asking, where are you going? I am going to attend the Gita class there, from him, from her, whatever it is. What a fool you are. Even after hearing directly from Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Arjuna remained an ignorant man. Arjuna was ignorant even after hearing Bhagavad Gita, that too directly from Bhagavan. Then what nonsense you are doing now? Sit somewhere else instead of going there. Huh? The answer is, Gita was taught not to Arjuna. Because, see, a milkman is milking cows. Of course, there is the cow, Vatsa is there. What is the role of Vatsa? If milk is for that Vatsa, there is no need of a milkman. That cow will go and drink the milk. This man is collecting the milk, and for getting that, as an instrument, this Vatsa is required. Milk is not for Vatsa. Vatsa is only for tapping that milk from that cow. Bhagavad Gita was not taught to Arjuna. He was only an instrument. He acted as a Vatsa. Then for whom? Sudhihi Bhokta. Sudhi, one with clear manas and buddhi. Sudhi Shobhana Dhi Yasya, whose mind and intellect is pure. For him, this nectar is collected and given by Bhagavan. That we have. And Bhagavan Bhashyakara and a long lineage of gurus. Again, they repeated the churning process and took the summary from the Gita and gave to us out of compassion and love. If we are ready to read, of course there is no doubt in that, we will get the manual of life. A ready reference. Ready reference in two respects. There are frequently asked questions, all are answered. There are some questions which may not be asked frequently but are more important, because when we get answer to such questions, what type of questions? As human beings in this universe, we are passing through difficult and different situations. How to face this? How to face this situation? As a doctor, as an engineer, as an accountant, as a farmer, as a shopkeeper, as a wife, as a husband, as a father, as a child. We have different personalities. Our individuality being one, we have different personalities. And innumerable are the questions. How to face this? So, more than these frequently asked questions, such questions must get correct answer. There is no doubt in that if we are ready to refer this text of Bhagavad Gita, we will get all our queries answered. There is no doubt in that. So go to Gita. Out of love and compassion, our acharyas gave this. And we have this. So make it a practice. Daily I will read at least one shloka. At least one shloka a day. Then there is no doubt in that. Once Swamiji, Vivekananda ji, in a lecture, he said, by studying Vedanta, a teacher will become a good teacher. No, a best teacher. By studying Vedanta, a doctor will become a good doctor. No, a best doctor. So whatever be the field of activity we are doing or engaging ourselves, having correct knowledge to adjust our own activity as to cope up with to be attuned with the cosmic system. To have that knowledge, the best guide is to have Gita with us. So have that. I'm not going to speak more. If you want to ask anything, you can ask without any doubt. So such a question and answer session will help more. You can ask doubts without any doubt. You can ask.
Yeah. I wanted to know, since BMI is temporary, so it is subject to destruction, and so we have to let go. But we say that Sukshma Sharira travels to the next birth. That means even the mind and memory travels. So how can we say that we have to burn, this is all temporary, because Sukshma Sharira is carried to the next birth.
Yeah. The question is, Sukshma Sharira is carried to the next birth. Then how can we say we have to burn all the samskaras within? How it is possible? Or what's the meaning in saying so? Because even after the death of this Sthula Sharira, our Sukshma Sharira is carried to the next birth. This is the question. See, actually it is the self with the Sukshma Sharira is selecting the Sthula Sharira. The samskaras within the Sukshma Sharira, to be precise, within the Chitta of the Sukshma Sharira, from where it came? From my own activities, from my own deeds. My own deeds. Nobody gave this. Many lives, one after another, we were doing, working. With all instruments we were acting and collecting different types of samskaras within. And that bundle of samskara is sanchita. It is called to sanchita. And from that sanchita samskara, a small part was taken as prarabdha. Pragrashena arabdham. That is begun. Pragrashena arabdham. That is begun. Well, already started. And with that prarabdha we came in this birth. And the sanchita is there. It is stored within each and every individual, Sukshma Sharira, the sanchita is stored. In this life, as this is human life, we have a limited freedom. We have the ability to choose from different. There are many choices we are getting, whether to do this or that, whether to go or not. That freedom is there. And Shastras are there. Gurus are there. So with the help of Shastras and Gurus, we can get that correct knowledge to select what to do, what not to do. Other creatures, they do not have that. So, through this, the help of Shastras and Gurus and that awareness within, we are selecting and we are thereby making our future karmas or samskaras. It goes. And as per the closing balance of this life, this birth, we will get the next. So it goes on and on. Next will come according to that samskara, and next will come. Then question is, if it is such a continual process, how we can burn? Or what is the use in saying burning? See, all this happens because of the false identification with body, mind, intellect complex. All these are happening because of superimposition we are having. When that is gone, that identification with the body, mind, intellect complex, naturally it withers away. Then the karma or the samskara stored in the chitta or sukshma sharira, it get fully dissociated with the self. As explained in the Upanishadic mantra, Bhidyate hridaya granthi, Chidyante sarva samshayaha, Kshiyante chasya karmani, Tasmin drishte paravare. When that is realized, all the knots of the heart will wither away. Chidyante sarva samshayaha, all doubts which are there in the mind will go, vanish. Kshiyante chasya karmani, all karma samskaras, they will go, disappear. Just as when the sun is there, no more darkness is there. In the same way, when the light of this knowledge, that realization comes within, that false identification with the body, mind, intellect complex goes. Whatever be the bundle of samskaras there, it is no more with the self, the Atma. That is said to be the burning of karmas. Then as long as prarabdha is there, the body will exist. As long as prarabdha is there, body will exist. We will have the body. That means sthula sharira, gross body. Even after that knowledge, that delinking with the samskaras, past samskaras, body is there. To explain that state of a scholar, to explain the state of that realized being, we are using the term burning. Actually, not such thing as burning is occurring. Just to explain that state of a man of realization, we are using that word. Now samskaras are burnt samskaras. Bharjita bijavat. The karmas are there, but they won't have offspring. It will not develop to the plant. Seeds are there, but it is just like burnt. That is regarding the prarabdha and agami. Sanjita has gone. Fullest dissociation has happened. Ishvara is driving everything. Then to understand him also need his help. Do we need to make conscious effort to understand him? See, when we are going to a theater and see one cinema, when we see one drama. We are satisfied with that. We are living with the actors, not with the actors. We are living with those characters in the cinema or in the drama. And we will laugh and cry because we are moving with them. We are making ourselves one with them. After that show, we are getting out of the theater and come back to our normal routines. Of course, for some hours or some days, that samskara may linger within. But after that, everything gone. And we say, this is a film of this man, that man. But a few are thinking, who is the director? Instead of moving or traveling with the characters, a few people will think, who is the director of this film? Others are behind actors. Only a few. They will think, who is the director? Just a question. And it goes. Because we are engaged in so many other activities. But sometimes that question is that much powerful. I have to find out that director. Because this is a wonderful drama. So the brain behind this is extraordinary. So I must meet him. Then what we will do? We will inquire. We will be in search of him. In the same way, we will inquire the director of the huge drama we are seeing and we are living within. That inquiry is real bhakti. As explained or not explained, I have said by Naradiya Bhakti Sutra, there is a sutra, Tasyaha Jnanameva Sadhanam Ityeke. That is the sutra. Tasyaha Jnanameva Sadhanam Ityeke. That is, to have real bhakti within, one must have knowledge. From knowledge comes bhakti. What is the meaning of that? From knowledge comes the bhakti. What is the meaning of that? See, we are in this world and we are seeing the universal order. The world order we are seeing. How intrinsic this is. Thousands and thousands of stars, millions and millions of stars and galaxies maintained well together. That mechanism, even within one body, trillions and trillions of organic cells within. How connected together? Who is binding all these together? That system, that order. When we observe that, slowly that respect, that will develop within, and it will develop into such a search that I will not sit without realizing him. That real bhakti dawns within. That bhakti, that dawns within. Then we cannot sit quiet. It will make us act. Go in search of that. We will be going to scriptures. We will be going to gurus. We will be going here and there. And finally, we will dive deep into our own individuality. Till realizing that we will not sit or we will not rest. So the question is, conscious effort, requirement of conscious effort. Of course, we will do that. We cannot sit without doing that. When that thirst is there, burning within. There is no doubt in that. All the yogas, whether it is karma yoga or bhakti yoga or jnana yoga or this yoga, that yoga, nowadays so many yogas are there. How many yogas, I don't know. Once in a yoga retreat, I heard that much noise and voice. Then I was wondering what type of noise they are making in a yoga session, what is there. Then I inquired what is happening there. Then I heard it is whiskey yoga. Then brandy yoga. Whiskey yoga, brandy yoga. What nonsense all these are. But they are happening in the world in which we are living now. This happened when I was taking some Vedanta classes in one yoga retreat. Next to their building, there was another yoga retreat happening, and from there this voice came. Then I wondered what is happening there. Then it was whiskey yoga and brandy yoga. What it is, I don't know. All these are happening, why? Because we are going away from Shastras. Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Karya Vyavastitau Jnatva Shastra Vidhanoktam Karma Kartum Iharhasi. The teaching of Bhagavan we must keep always in the heart. Then we will not be away from the direct path. So conscious effort is required. And it will come naturally, spontaneously. There is no doubt in that. So when that quest is there, we will inquire. We cannot sit idle. That is the reply. The comic plan is there. Is the plan I think this can be asked directly. I cannot read. Or can you help? What is written?
What exists after our time in Bhuloka?
Exist after, yeah. Our time.
What exists after
our time in Bhulokam. Bhulokam will exist.
No, our time.
That I know. What exists after our time in Bhuloka? Bhuloka will exist. There is no doubt in that. There is a beautiful Malayalam Padya, not a Padya, it is a small verse. Kaka pari vannu, parameli irunnu, kaka pari poi, para bakiyai. So nothing will happen. After we go out of this Bhuloka, Bhuloka will be there. Now we are thinking, I am keeping this Bhuloka in the perfect order. Without me, this will not exist here. No, nothing. This will remain as it is and as it was. Then the question is, what will happen to us? This is the question. Handata idam pravakshyami guhyam brahma sanatanam yathacha maranam prapya atma bhavati gautama. This question was well answered by Kathopanishad. Hantata idam pravakshyami. Oh, I am going to answer your question. Guhyam Brahma Sanadanam. This is the most secret, the highest secret. Yathacha maranam prapya atma bhavati gautama. What happens to the atma when one attains death? So here Yamadharma is attracting the student. You listen, I am going to give the answer. And then he replies, Yoni manye prapadyante sharirattvaya dehinaha sthano manyenu sanyanti yatha karma yatha shrutam. What type of samskara, what bundle of samskara we are having within, accordingly we will have to go. Some jivas will go to the womb of mother. Some jivas will manifest as trees and the like. Sthanu manyenu samyanti, immovable organisms. Who decides this all? In Malayalam there is a beautiful word, Kayyilirippu. Here, those who speak Kannada, they can also understand that, Kayyilirippu. What one have in his hand, accordingly he will get admitted. So our future is decided by our own samskara. So make it virtuous. Make it good. Then we will have a virtuous life. That is the answer. The cosmic plan is there. Is the plan universal or subject to interpretation based on the individual? It is there. Universal plan is there and it is called dharma. Dharma is there. But we are interpreting as per our capacity and vision. So both are there. Universal plan is there. There is no doubt in that. That we can see in the Veda itself. Yatha tathyato arthan vyadadhat. In the Ishavasya Upanishad, that is the 40th chapter of Shukla Yajurveda, we can see that mantra. Yatha tathyataha arthan vyadadhat. Divided everything as per a perfect plan. Yatha tathyataha. How it should be, so it is distributed. Vyadadhat. So there is a perfect order which is holding everything together, and that we are calling dharma, and dharmasya prabhurachyuta. The master of this dharma is Ishvara. So it is there. There is no change in that. It is everlasting, unchanging. But we are interpreting it as per our own capacity. Some are seeing it as dual, some others non-dual, some others in both ways. In a sense it is dual, in other sense it is non-dual. Many interpretations are there. So in both ways it is correct. How to overcome fear of death? That's a very practical question. We are identifying with this body. And this body, inevitably, it must go. So when that attachment is there, that identification is there, as long as it is there, we will have fear of death. Just think, Who am I? I am not this body is mine. Ajo nitya shashvadoyam puranaha. Na jayade mriyadeva. Go deep into the contemplation of these mantras and try to understand our real nature over and above the body-mind-intellect complex. But even after studying and even after teaching for thousands and thousands of years, that identification will still be there within. That is the greatness of our Maya. Now, there are many medical shops, allopathy medical shops. How many drugs are there? What type of chemical combinations are there? Innumerable. But in olden days, there were some mixtures for this disease, this mixture, this. There was a compounder. He will make that mixture. So for one specific disease, one mixture will be there. So patient will be given that mixture. You go and have this mixture for 5 days and come. After 5 days, nothing happens. The same pain is there. And he comes and complains to doctor, doctor, same pain is there. You take that mixture again for 5 more days. It didn't help me. There is no other way. There is no other medicine. You try for 5 more days. Then he will take that mixture and go and take. Because there is only one medicine. If there are 2 medicines, we can try the other after this. No, there is only one medicine. So there is only one medicine to cure this disease. And that is removing false identifications. False identification with the body, mind, intellect complex. For that, there is only one way to know the self. What is my real nature? That is the only way. And therefore, Upanishad teaches us Tavadeva nirodhavyam yavad hrudi gatam kshayam. Eda dhyanam cha jnanam cha. This is dhyanam, this is knowledge, no doubt in that. But you control your body, mind, intellect complex till it is disappeared in the self. That is, that oneness is realized. Till then, that is the only medicine. That is the only medicine. There is no other medicine. So, how to remove fear of death? Understand our real nature to be deathless, immortal. That is the only way. In the process of realization of oneself, ego is a great obstacle. How to overcome this through a practical sense? See, we can make a much bigger ego. Our tiny ego is the creator of all problems. It is creating the problem. Make it bigger and bigger. Identifying with the Ishvara. Then our tiny ego, small ego, it will get developed. When it has that ability to encompass the whole, then there is no more problem. From many quarters, such questions are pouring in. Swami, how I can get detachment? I will immediately ask, why go for detachment? Why to have detachment? Be attached. Be attached. Because removing attachment is not an easy thing. We can speak, we can write volumes and volumes, but practically it is not an easy affair. Because it is inbuilt. So instead of going for a detachment, be attached with a higher ideal. With a higher object. So attached with Ishvara. Don't go for detachment in life. Why to be detached? It is negative. Detaching ourselves from this, that. No, don't go for that. Get attached with Ishvara. The other day there was a meeting, and it was on these drugs are increasing in our society. Even small kids are going for drugs. How we can eliminate this evil? This was the subject matter. It was in Malayalam. So we have to get rid of Lahari. Lahari, you know? It's a Sanskrit term. We must get rid of Lahari. Many were speaking. Then when my turn came, I asked the audience, what is human life without Lahari? If there is no Lahari, why we are living here? If we are not smiling, we are not having happiness, why to live in this world? Huh? So we must have Lahari. I am against these scholars who spoke, we must eradicate Lahari from our life. Then human life will be like mud and stone. We must have Lahari. Have a higher Lahari, a bigger Lahari. Then we will not go for these small Laharis, alcohol, drugs, ganja, this, that. No, we won't go. When we have that bigger Lahari within. And what that Lahari is? Chant the name of God. Think of Ishvara. Have that Lahari within. Once that Lahari is there, we will not go for other Lahari. There is no doubt in that. Huh? So don't be negative, be positive, always. Here it is written in Malayalam. Now it is 8 o'clock. I think tomorrow the lecture will be in Malayalam, and we can keep this question for tomorrow. No, question is, എല്ലാ ഹിന്ദുക്കളും മാംസാഹാരം വർജിക്കേണ്ടതല്ലേ? ഒന്നാമത് പ്രാണിഹത്യ, രണ്ടാമത് എല്ലാ ജീവജാലങ്ങളിലും ഭഗവാനെ ദർശിക്കണമെന്നല്ലേ? Should all Hindus stop eating meat? In the first place, it is pranihatya, killing of beings. Second, there is the same Ishvara in all beings. So, killing a being is killing Ishvara. How we can do that? See, how to answer this? I am not eating meat. I am considering myself as a vegetarian. I can say this much only, because we are traveling here and there, eating, and we are buying rice from outside or wheat from outside. How it is made, we do not know. Swami, rice and wheat, they are vegetarian things. Who knows? Who knows? Who can say for certain? Cellular biology has grown to such extent that we can make many things. So that is another aspect. So I considering myself as a vegetarian. But at the same time, can I say you must be a vegetarian? Those who are living in Bhutan are not Hindus. Those who are living, greatest acharyas even, living in Bengal, eating fish, they are not Hindus, can I say? No. I cannot say that. I will not say that. And at the same time, I will not advocate meat eating or fish eating. No. I am not eating. I can say this much. As far as possible, lead the style of vegetarian. Have vegetarian food. As much as you can. Because we are acting in this world. All our cells are getting oxidated. And we are having fatigue. The food also, if they are oxidated, what will happen? Waste will get amassed in the body and it will be converted to so many diseases. So better to have antioxidants as food. There is no antioxidant in meat or fish or anything other than vegetables. So we are collecting these oxidants within through our activities, and if we are adding to it through our food, we will become sick persons. That's why go to hospitals. Meat eaters are more there. Vegetarians are less. And among vegetarians, sickness is lesser than others. That we can see. So we have to educate, we have to spread this aspect. The other, people will ask many other questions. There is life in plant kingdom also. One man once said, Swami, there is life in plant. You are advocating this. Then is there no ahimsa in that? Then I answered, if I cut the head of a hen or a cock, it is not coming up. When I cut the head of one plant, head of one plant, two heads are coming up. That I am seeing. So there is a difference. But still, people will question. So give scientific answers. Scientific means standing answers. So it is not connected with Hindus alone. For all, whether Hindu or Muslim or Christian or Buddhist or Jain or whatever it is, vegetarian food is the best option. But go to Bhutan and teach this. How they will get vegetarian food always? They will have to put meat in the sun and tinned food they are keeping and they are eating. So it differs. സസ്യങ്ങൾക്കും ജീവനുണ്ടല്ലോ, അപ്പോൾ പിന്നെ മാംസാഹാരവും സസ്യാഹാരവും തമ്മിൽ എന്താണ് വ്യത്യാസം എന്ന് പലരും ചോദിക്കുന്നു. എന്തുത്തരമാണ് പറയേണ്ടത്? That life is there within plants and other moving beings. So when some people ask, is there himsa in that? What is the answer? The answer is, there is life in all beings. There is no doubt in that. But manifestation is in different levels. For example, I know that there is life in plant. When I walk, I see I see a branch of tree fallen. I am using the word dead branch of tree. That branch of tree is dead. Still I walk further. Now I am seeing a cow dead. Oh. Still I am going further. Then I see a small child, a human being dead. The feeling which is coming within me, three are dead. The tree, piece of tree, the cow, the child. All these three are dead. But the feeling I am having within it is entirely different. Because even though the Chaitanya is the same in all, the manifestation differs according to the instrument. When the psycho-neuro system is more developed, we will attribute more himsa when we kill such beings. When the psycho-neuro system is not that much developed, as in fish and all, we are not attributing that much himsa. And when it is planned, it is still more lesser. Because without himsa, nobody can live in this world. That is called avashya himsa. So through avashya himsa, we are getting upapatakas. By performing Pancha Mahayajna daily, these upapatakas will get eradicated. There are upapatakas, you know. Upapatakas, we are walking, then how many beings are killed by us? When we are cooking food, we cannot count them. So upapataka is there always in our life. We cannot escape doing that. So by performing Panchamahayajna daily, those upapatakas will be eradicated daily. There is no doubt in that. Then take other patakas, mahapatakas and adipatakas. So for that, the legal system will work. What type of punishment is to be given, such things are there. So without committing upapataka, nobody can live in this world. We cannot live in this world as 100% ahimsakas. No, it is impossible. Karma or deeds are said to be followed to next life with Atma. Then why is the term karma sannyasa or karma bhalatyaga given most importance? See, always I am attached to karma, that I am doing this, I am doing this. The effect or the fruit of this karma must come to me. That is this is my, this is my. This attachment is making us bound. Karma will be there, we cannot escape doing karma. As long as we are having body, we must perform this type or other type of karma. We cannot escape that. But through our conscious effort, proper understanding, how karma works, just as karmanyeva dhigaraste ma bhaleshu kadachana. We have the right, our karma, not the fruits of karma. It happens as it's so. There the lamp is there, fire is there. I can touch that fire. I can sit here without touching that. If I go there and touch that fire, I will have burned. I cannot escape that. There are electrical plug point here. I can put my finger into that. That I can do. I have the right. But if I put, I will get electric shock. I have no right. So karmani, I have the right over karma. No, I don't have. I can decide whether to do or not. If I do, I will have to suffer. So understand this. Nobody can negate this. So when this understanding is there, we can perform all our actions at the same time unbound. The sutra for realizing that we can get through a proper study of Bhagavad Gita. There are so many other questions now. Time is 8 o'clock, no? Huh? 10 minutes. When Maya was not there, people were uniting with God through yoga easily. Then God created Maya. So why not we should enjoy it. See, when Maya was not there, how many people were there? Without Maya, how can this manifestation happen? Maya is the innate Shakti. Without Maya, nothing is there. Without Maya, Ishvara is not there. Without Ishvara, Maya is not there. Because Maya is Ananya and Abhinna. Without Maya, there is no Ishvara. Without Ishvara, there is no Maya. Then this question never comes. So we need not take this question. Because without Maya, there is no Ishvara. How there can be Ishvara without Maya? Just like fire and heat. They are one. The heat of the fire, yes, for usage it is correct. But without heat there is no fire, without fire there is no heat. If dharma is the binding of the universe, binding power or scheme, whatever it is, what is the role of who has written this? Role of? I cannot understand. Role of? Evil. Evil. See, after all, what is evil? All these are relative terms. In the dharma, system of dharma, there are two Shaktis or two Sampat, Daivi Sampat and Asuri Sampat. Always these two will be there, or these two must be there. And there is a perfect balance, there is a perfect equilibrium, and thereby it is holding the universe together. There is Daivik and there is Asurik. Both these sampat, both these tendencies are there. When this balance is disrupted, then we call it evil. Then the system will again adjust, and there are mechanisms within the system to readjust. From within, not from outside. Then we may call that is evil, Swami, that is evil. But from a higher perspective, if we are ready to observe, we will understand what we call evil in the social level. Those are such mechanisms to bring back the equilibrium. It is not a, see, you can do evils in this life. No. We are observing from a higher perspective, higher level. Then again the system will adjust or will get adjusted. It will go like this. Light and darkness. Both will be there, both are there, both must be there. But there is a balance. That balance, when it is disrupted, the system itself will correct it. That correcting mechanism we call by the name avatara. That is avatara. So, evil is there. Along with light, darkness is there. It is the absence of light. Yes, of course, absence of light. Still it is there. So presence and absence, both are there. Critics say that the caste system originated from the Gita shloka, Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam, and they say Krishna also approved caste system. Is this true? Critics say no. Critics never say that. Because to criticize something, we must understand what it is. Without studying, if we are alleging, it is not criticism. They are not critics. According to our Shastra, to criticize anything, you must learn more. Without studying, how you can criticize? So ignorant people says, Chadurvarka system originate from Gita. Yeah, that is true. Not critics. They cannot be given the position of critic. I think you followed. We can worship Gita. We need not study Gita. Put a Gita in the almirah and do puja. We can do that. But to say he is a critic of Gita, he must learn in depth. He must have in-depth knowledge of Gita. Then only he can criticize. So if he knows Sanskrita and he did study of Gita, then he will not say Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam, because there is no connection, any connection with caste system. It is Varna system, and Varna system is most scientific. Most scientific. It is the system we can recognize in all societies, not Hindus alone, not India alone. You go to America, you can see Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Within Muslims, within Christian, within Sikh, within all communities, all religions, we can see Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. There is no doubt in that. It has nothing to do with caste system. Varna system is entirely different. And in the teachings of Bhagavan, you cannot see a single instance where Bhagavan speak about caste. No, Swami, there in the Gita it is there. No, not in the words of Bhagavan, but in the words of Arjuna. Which Arjuna? Arjuna who didn't hear Gita. Before hearing Gita, fully bewildered, fully confused. That Arjuna uses Jati Dharmaha, like that. In the Gita there is no such a term as Jati. You go to Gita, take shlokas one after another, you will not see. So, they say Krishna also approved caste system. No, there is no caste system in the Gita. There is no caste system in the Gita. Varna system is entirely different. There is no connection with Varna system and caste system. Is this true? No, it is wrong. Our character is formed by three gunas, each of us possesses. But Atma in us is independent and above this. So why or how effect of karma done by these triguna are carried by Atma to next birth. Atma is not carrying samskara to next birth. Atma is not having birth or death. All these are connected with the Jivatma. That is a stage having identification with body, mind, intellect complex. When that identification is not there, no samskaras, nothing. So character is formed by three gunas. Of course that is true. But Atma in us is not independent and above this. There is no Atma in us. We have body, we have mind, we have intellect, we have prana, we don't have Atma. I don't have Atma. I am Atma. I don't have Atma. So there is no Atma in us. But when we say Atma in us, the meaning is in the Jivatma, as the substratum of Jivatma, Chaitanya is there. Chaitanyam yad adhishtanam linga dehaschaya puna. Chichaya linga dehasta tat sangho jiva uchyate. That is Jivatma. So there Atma is there. And it is not tainted by the samskaras or karmas. And Atma is not carried from one life to another. All these are the cases with the instruments called gross body and subtle body. The samskaras are there in the subtle body. Atma is giving existence to all. That existence absolute is untouched by karmas and samskaras. Realize that is our real nature. So with these words we can conclude today.
You say Ishvara is Mayatita.
Ishvara is Mayatita. Because Ishvara is the owner of Maya. Magician is Mayatita. Because he is playing with that magical power. So he is above that. He is using that. He is above that. With the magical power, he is not a magician. So magician and the magical power, there is no difference. Without that magical power, he is not called a magician. He is called a magician. Why? He is having that magical power. So there is no difference. So Ishvara is above that. Who is above that magical power? The magician, because he is doing that. He is manifesting the power outside and binding others. All others are bound, but he is above that. So Ishvara is Mayatita. Ishvara is Mayatita. He is making use of his own innate Shakti. Indro Mayabhi Pururova Iyate. The Paramatma is manifesting in manifold ways, making use of his own Maya. So he is above that. He is above that. When a magician comes here and, no, here it is only used for other, magician will not come here. So when he comes here and he shows many things, just imagine, as a lion he is pouncing. We will run away from here crying, but he is above that. He is standing here. He is not becoming a lion, but we are seeing a lion. So he is above that. Ishvara is Mayatita. There is no doubt in that. So today we can conclude with this. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om.
I would like to express our immense gratitude on behalf of each and every one of us present here to Swamiji for having, said his discourse, nectar flowing through the expression of his words and touched each and every one of our hearts. And a big thank you to all of you who asked questions, and because of which Swamiji, we had an interaction with Swamiji for so long. Thank you so much for that. And before we disperse, I would like to tell you all that Swamiji is going to be speaking tomorrow at Indranagar Sangeet Sabha, and it's going to be in Malayalam, the discourse. The topic is Tasmat Jagrita Jagrita. It's going to commence at 4 p.m. at Indranagar Sangeet Sabha. So all of you please make it and also spread the word around to your family and friends. Thank you once again, one and all.